I was just there. They said take off your top. Me too, I've taken off my top. The photographer also starts taking off their clothes. And this is where the twist comes in. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is April and you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are returning, and if you are new here, then there is one thing that you should do. That is check out the videos on my channel page. If you like what you see, then of course subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to click on the bell notification button to always be updated every time I post a new video. So today's video is a story time. It's a bit embarrassing on my part, but the main goal of this video is actually to create awareness. Nowadays, a lot of people, especially girls, like to take pictures. Some even have personal photographers and all that. So today's video is going to be quite educational in that aspect. So stay with me if you want to hear the story. This story is about how certain photographers take advantage of models, or not necessarily professional models, but just the people who they are taking photos of. And this happened to me, and there is a bit of a twist to this story, so make sure you watch till the end, because I'm sure that in the end you would be like, oh my goodness, really? But yes, like there is a bit of a twist. So this actually happened to me, right? And the thing is, I was really young. I was about 14 years, and it was in Ukraine. It happened in Ukraine. Basically, I met a photographer through a friend. So it was like a friend of a friend kind of situation. And we were kind of acquaintances, friends, not yet friends, but then like we were getting to the friendship, stage. We were cool, we were talking and all that. And this photographer was a novice. So they were just now starting their photography career and all that, and they hadn't taken a lot of professional photos, but they did have like a professional camera, and they had a studio. They made the garage of their house a studio. So basically, during one of our conversations, this photographer was like, would I want to be part of a test photo shoot? So a test photo shoot is basically just this kind of shoot where we have mostly an inexperienced photographer and an inexperienced model. Sometimes they can both be experienced, but then it's a free photo shoot and it's not for any particular thing, but the model would be able to have those photos just for herself or himself, and then the photographer would also be able to have those photos for their portfolio. That was basically the whole point of this shoot. So it wasn't for any commercial something. And I was like, well, why not? I mean, like, I didn't mind. I'm not really a photography kind of person. Sometimes I'm like in a mood to take pictures, but usually I'm not. Like, I don't take pictures every day, hardly. So at that time too, I was the same. It wasn't really my thing, but I don't mind. Sometimes when I'm in the mood and the day is right and I like the person, I like the photographer, I like the concept and all that, I would usually agree. Like, I would agree to it. So this is what happened this time. I was like, oh yeah, okay, like cool. And so basically the idea was that the focus would be on my exotic look. So I mean, obviously my skin color, my hair and all that is not something that you see every day in European countries. So that was like the focus, like an exotic kind of style, more creative, not classy, but like creative and exotic kind of thing. So I was like, okay, cool, like sure, let's do this. I remember when I came to this studio, the very first thing that sort of, it wasn't like a red flag, but it just came into my mind. Like, it just came into my mind because I didn't know this person that well. So I was just like, okay, this garage was quite secluded. So it was kind of part of their house, but then not really part of their house. Like, you actually had to walk like to the back of the house to get to this garage. And the garage itself, it was quite dark. I mean, it wasn't like a professional studio. Obviously, it wasn't a professional studio. It was sort of like a makeshift kind of situation. I felt more or less okay. Like, I just thought that it was quite an interesting location and all that. I didn't really give it much thought. And then we started taking the pictures, and it was going really well. Like, I liked the vibe. I liked what was going on. It seemed like it was going quite well. Then as time was going on, right, we had already been taking pictures for quite a while, and I had gotten comfortable, and all that. And also keep in mind that I was young. I was like 14 years. So I was quite naive. I was quite, obviously I was inexperienced. This was maybe not necessarily my first photo shoot, but it was the closest thing that I had ever done to a professional shoot. So as time was going on, we had taken pictures for about maybe 3 to 4 hours. It was quite a long time. And then this photographer is like, would you feel comfortable taking off your top? Yeah, I wasn't wearing a bra, but guys, guess what? I was like, okay. I said okay. So this is a very critical moment, and I would like to point this out because a lot of people, mostly girls, have been taken advantage of when it comes to photography. So many girls. What usually happens is that everything starts out okay, and then as time goes on, like slowly, it can get sexual or sensual, or going to the pornography side and all that. Like sometimes you might not even realize it, and the reality is that in the moment you think differently from when you reflect on it. So when you leave the place and then you think about what actually happened, that's when you start realizing like all the bad things that went on during that photo shoot. But when you are there, a lot of times you might feel shy to say no. Sometimes you might feel scared to say no. Sometimes you might not even think that there is anything wrong with it. It's like because the personality of the photographer and the way they approach the whole thing seems very natural, seems very, harmless, and you feel like you can trust the person, you just go along with it. And that is how a lot of girls get like nude pictures of themselves taken, and then they are manipulated and all that. Like there are so many things that are obviously involved in this. So that is basically how a lot of girls get taken advantage of. And to be honest, it's not just girls, guys are also taken advantage of. So it's fair game, honestly. Basically, let me get back to the story. So I took off my top. I wasn't wearing a bra. Let me note that I wasn't wearing a bra. And okay, at that time, I didn't feel like I was being taken advantage of. I'm not someone I'm actually quite funny. Like if I'm one-on-one with a person, like let's say a guy who I like or something like that, I am very shy in terms of body, like physical stuff and all that. But when it comes to things like going to the doctor, taking pictures and stuff like that, honestly, I am not that shy. I don't mind semi-naked like photo shoots and stuff like that. Maybe one day I might even not mind like a full-blown out nude photo shoot, as long as I'm sort of like covering myself a little bit and all that. But yeah, generally, like I don't really have a problem with it. So at that time too, I didn't have an issue with it. Like I felt comfortable. I didn't feel like, oh, I'm being forced to show anything and all that. No. The actual problem here is my age. Keep in mind that the photographer was maybe in their late 20s, mid 20s, late 20s. So that's grown. That's over the age of 18, right? It's over the age of 21, over the age of 18, over the age of 16. All the common legal ages in the world, right? And I was 14, 15. Guys, that kind of nude photoshoot thing with a child is illegal. Like it's illegal. It can even sometimes, not all the time, but under certain circumstances, it can count as child pornography, whether it is with the child's consent or not. So this is the critical aspect in my story. But overall, I just want you guys to know that such situations can happen no matter your age. And sometimes, even if you feel uncomfortable, sometimes even if you feel like you don't want to get naked, you don't want to do anything, sometimes you might still do it because of the situation. And then after that, that's when you regret. After that, there could be consequences. The person could blackmail you, threaten you, do whatever it is that they want with you because of those pictures that they have of you. If you're a grown person and you don't mind a nude photo shoot and all that, then cool. But if you are grown and you mind, just be aware. In the situation, be aware of what is going on. If the person says something which you are generally not comfortable with, no matter whether you are friends or you feel comfortable with the person, just be aware. This situation could really go bad very, very fast. And also it's advisable to go for such photo shoots with like a friend or with a sibling, somebody who is close to you, and somebody who will not necessarily take pictures with you but will just be there for you in case something is a bit off. They can prevent the situation from escalating. And also, preferably, there should be some kind of contract, especially if it's a professional photo shoot. It's best to have a contract which lays down everything that's going to happen during this photo shoot and the rights to the photos and all of that. In my case, of course, there was absolutely nothing like that. I was a child. This was a test shoot. It was like friends kind of thing. So naturally, like, there were no precautions, nothing. And also, I was quite dumb, to be honest. So I was just there. They said, take off your top. Me too, I've taken off my top. So I'm there. So yes, we proceed to continue taking pictures with me topless. I don't mind, like, you know, I'm posing and all that. Then the photographer also starts taking off their clothes. And this is where the twist comes in. The photographer is a girl, a woman. So I'm sure from the very start, some of you people were thinking that the photographer is a guy. No, the photographer is actually a woman. And maybe that's even why I felt more comfortable. In this case, it was a girl. So she also removed her top. She was topless. And then she put the camera on a timer. And then we took topless pictures together. Yeah, that's what happened. Oh my goodness. Now, she didn't touch me inappropriately or do anything that I honestly wasn't comfortable with. No, she didn't do anything like that. But the photos were suggestive. The photos were honestly very, very beautiful. I saw them after I was really happy with the results. They were fantastic photos, but they were suggestive. What happened next? We finished taking the pictures, you know, we dressed up and all that. We left. She sent me the photos afterwards, including the nude ones. She added them to her portfolio, and luckily for me, she is actually a very good person. So those pictures were never posted anywhere, or at least up till now they haven't been. I don't even think they are anywhere public right now. I don't know what's going on with her. I don't think she proceeded with her photography career. So yeah, like, I don't even know where those pictures are. I have lost all the pictures from that shoot, unfortunately, because there were a lot of beautiful photos. If I do happen to find some, I'll add them to this video, but I doubt I'll be able to find any. So yeah, that was the end of the story. It's a good ending, at least for now, but it could have ended very, 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 very badly. So basically, I just want you to know, if you like taking pictures, if you have photographer friends, and you take pictures in a studio, you take pictures in a secluded place, maybe at someone's house and stuff like that, just keep in mind that there could be a situation where you would have to do something which you might later on regret. And in that moment, just remember what I'm saying in this video. Like, just remember that you have the right to say, no, you don't feel comfortable with this. And if you do feel comfortable with whatever it is that is being suggested or being asked of you, just think twice about the consequences. Those pictures could get on the internet. Those pictures could be sent to your family members, like to your parents, to your friends, to your siblings. So this is actually very, very serious. And it happens to people before. Sometimes also photographers take advantage of the models, so they can touch you inappropriately. They might even rape you, even though that's more or less relatively rare. But the inappropriate touching and all that, yeah, it happens. In my case, I was lucky that the situation wasn't like that. It's clear that the person was actually genuinely interested in art, even though she knew my age and she knew that this was wrong. Overall, I think she had good intentions. She wasn't, you know, planning to exploit me or anything like that. Basically, just keep what I said in this video in mind. And also, if you have any friends or family members who like to take pictures and do all these kinds of things, or they are models, you know, maybe you could also show them this video so that they are also aware of such things, or they are just reminded. You know, some people know, but sometimes a reminder is necessary still. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something from it or took something away from it. And of course, I hope to see you also in another video. But for now, I would just like to say bye.